Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Root Beer here, and I'm going to be taking a look at another one of the Canadian Open Mathematics Challenges, the COMC, more commonly known as the Open, and we're going to be looking at the 2016 one. I guess I sort of wrote over that. But we're going to be looking at the 2016 paper here. Now, if you'd like a copy of this contest, I would strongly encourage you to click the very first link in the description. It gets you a copy of this paper that you can print out and try on your own. And unlike some of the other papers I go through, this one actually provides us enough space that we can actually write things down. You are downloading the full booklet, as opposed to, say, downloading the Euclid contest, where they don't give us a sample booklet. Alright, now, if you're new to the Open or anything like that, or really any contest, you should always read the instructions and be familiar with them before you actually write the paper. Okay, I will let you read through the instructions. I'll just draw your attention to a few things. You might want to look at the time. Time is always good for any contest. Mark breakdowns. Earlier questions are worth less marks than later questions. Of course, later questions need more work shown. I think A and B, you can just put your final answer, and the B part questions are just a little harder, worth a little bit more. But for C, we're going to actually have to write down detailed solutions, justify things, and explain ourselves. Okay? One other thing, do they still have it out here? Oh, there it is, yeah. It's a picture. Calculators are not allowed, really any electronics sort of are not allowed, so we need to be aware of that. Remember, some contests do let you have electronics and calculators, as long as maybe they're not programmable, but the Open isn't one that does that. So we got to put our calculators away. Okay? And then there's the name and everything like that, but then we get to the questions here, and as with most of my videos, I'm just going to go through one question at a time. So in this question, we'll start the contest off with part A, question 1. Okay, so Pat has 10 tests to write in the school year. He can obtain a maximum score of 100 on each test. The average score of Pat's first 8 tests is 80, and the average score of all of Pat's tests is N. What is the maximum possible value of N? Okay, so yeah, this is actually sort of a common style question, and we really just sort of need to know how averaging works. And remember, averaging is you add up the totals, in this case tests, the total number that gotten on each test for a big sum of tests, and divide that by how many numbers you added up. That's what creates an average. We're going to have to exploit this relationship in a couple different ways, but this is a fairly common style of question, and if you've practiced a lot of contests, you're going to be very familiar with this. This is one reason I like to encourage practicing contests, and I don't just mean practicing the Open, practicing contests across the board, because I've seen questions like this. I see them all the time on say, Waterloo papers and papers from the U.S., so there's some oldies but goodies that you can see every once in a while popping up. So this question like this is nice, very basic, and puts a smile on my face because I know I'm going to get 4 out of 4. So maximum score of 100 here, first 80 tests, and the average of the average score is 80, and then the average is N. What is the maximum possible value of N? Okay, and of course we also have to remember he has 10 tests to write. Okay, so 10 tests to write. We know he's already scored an average of 80, so on the first 8 tests, and incidentally, remember, you don't actually have to write this stuff down. If you just want to do your final answer and put it in this box here, that's all you need. So the first 8 tests give an average of 80, so Pat has already, we might say something like accumulated. Is that 2 M's? I don't remember. This isn't an English test, so you don't have to be good at spelling. I know I certainly am not. Has already accumulated, so his average was 80. And that's a total number of marks divided by 8. So the number of marks he's already earned is 80 times 8, which is 640. So 640 marks is the sum of his first 8 tests. And then we want to know what the maximum possible value of n is. Well, there's only 2 tests left for him to score. That we sort of can't... We don't individually know what values he got on the first 8 tests, but we know the total is sort of confined to be 640. The max value of n is given by Pat scoring the best he can on the remaining 2 tests. So specifically, he needs to get 100. So the average here, n, so we use the definition one way to get the total number of marks he's already earned from 8 tests. Now we're going to do the total number of marks plus 2 scores of 100 over, and now it'll be 10 tests. So 640 plus 200 all over 10. This is going to be 840 over 10. So the answer is, at best, Pat could get an average of 84. That's the best that could possibly happen here. Okay? And the numbers here are nice because, of course, we don't have a calculator to use. But we put 84 down in the little box in the booklet. You can write things in this space if you want to, but if you read the instructions, they say you don't have to. But if you screw up and you accidentally write 83 and you don't have anything in this space, you'll get a big fat 0. But if you write 83 and you show it a little bit of your work, a little bit of your average, you can still get a few part marks back. Okay? So that's why I always encourage writing at least something down. Okay? So, with question number 1 out of the way, let's move on to A2, but we'll take a look at that in the next video. Until then, have a wonderful day.